Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
I'm happy this is being said. And the only thing I want to add is that you cannot go and attack Ireland. You cannot go and attack Mexico. You cannot go and attack Nigeria or China or any country in this world and expect not and lie on them, basically lie on their history and lie on their legacy and not be attacked, discredited, and dismantled publicly. And I right now am at a point where Ta-Nehisi Coates needs to be disgraced and exposed and completely canceled from the Black intellectual circles, because what he is in effect doing is turning it into an enemy. He's bearing false witness against the legacy of African people on the continent of Africa. He's bearing false witness against the Black abolitionists that snuffed out the slave trade at its source. He's bearing false witness against people who should be honored and commemorated by African people around the world. He's making up lies and publishing them for profit and going around on speaking engagements, spreading hype and propaganda against the first Black republic on the continent of Africa. This is an outrage. This is more than being a sellout. He's a traitor. He's a traitor to African people. And he needs to get called out. And this is not even about him being ignorant. It's not about him being ignorant. Imagine somebody, making up these kinds of horrible lies against a Crazy Horse or some Native American hero. It just doesn't happen. But somehow Black people think that when they don't respect themselves and they go out and coon the way Ta-Nehisi Coates is doing, that somehow that makes them important, that makes them look smart. You don't see that happening in other cultures because there's consequences and repercussions for that kind of conduct in other cultures. We shouldn't be tolerating this stuff anymore. Every time we take one step forward, there's a bunch of coons willing to drag us 10 steps back. We're not going to take this anymore. The comparison to Israel is so offensive. It's so deeply offensive. And no matter where you stand on the Israeli-Palestinian debate, the comparison is offensive. And it's a lie. This is some real deep-seated self-hatred. They always weaponizing these half-cocked coons against their own people. And in fact, they weaponize themselves against their people for profit. Ain't nobody told him to do that. He voluntarily goes out and says these things. It becomes like an old drum that everybody likes to beat because it draws their attention and it gets approval from the people, the enemies of African people. They get the approval, the little pat on the head. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. Oh, you see, these victims are perpetrators, so there's nobody that's really innocent in this world. Nobody's noble in this world. Nobody really has a just cause in this world, because the people y'all think have a just cause, guess what? They're apartheid Israeli Zionists. Can you imagine?
Yeah, my benefit of the
needs
doubt
to
is
be
going
boycotted.
completely out the window.
If he ever comes to Atlanta to do a book signing, we need to organize protests. He needs to get dragged. I'm sick of that dude. I'm sick of these people trying to set us back all the time for their little personal benefit. You gonna make a couple $100,000 off of selling out generations of struggle for what? So you could get a new car. What is he really benefiting from this?
Attention. Because that seemed like all he wants. This dude, I don't
I
even
mean,
think he
this
was
ain't
that
just a
relevant
preaching
before
brother.
he
This
went
is
in. But
money. He getting paid for this.
yeah, a lot. They're giving him
Hmm.
another book deal too.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he's gonna get handled.
And I just want to bring up this point. Bring up this point that's important. When has Liberia ever and you know this, but I'm just gonna say it rhetorically. When has Liberia ever waged war against its neighbors? Its own people and its neighbors. You cannot find one. Find me an example of when Liberia invaded Ivory Coast, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and waged war like we're gonna take land. I just want to know. You can't find it.
If anything, the opposite happened.
Yeah, and there's historical proof of that too.
Liberia, because Liberia had no need to, because they didn't want that. They were not looking for conquest. They were not looking to be this empire just for Black Americans, and to be this hegemonic force. That's not their goal. That's not their objective. They wanted the revitalization of Africa, of Africans. That is everybody within Africa, not just an ethnic group. So you got to get called out, because again, and I'm proud to see some Liberians calling them out. But gone are the days where we just let this stuff slide. And
Yeah, I'm
Liberians
done with that. Yeah, I'm
Americans
done
who
with
are out
somebody
there
dissing Liberia.
But gone are the days where we allowed this stuff to happen. Like, that is not happening no more. That's why I made the Change Liberia narrative on TikTok. That's why I did it. Because we can't allow this stuff to keep going. We just cannot keep allowing this stuff to keep going. We cannot.